All right, let's talk about root canals. You've done all the hard work, right? The inside of the tooth is cleaned out, it's shaped, but what's next? There's this one huge, crucial step left, the fill. How do you make sure that perfectly clean space stays clean for good? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today, sealing the deal.
Okay, so picture this. You've got a root canal that's been perfectly cleaned out. It's totally sterile inside, but it's also completely empty. And, nature just doesn't like empty spaces. If you leave it like that, it's basically an open invitation for things to get back in. So the real challenge, the big question is, how do we seal that thing off for good?
The answer has a technical name, obturation. And listen, the key word here, the one you've got to remember, is three-dimensional. This isn't just about plugging a hole at the top of the tooth. No way. The real goal is to fill everything, every single nook, every tiny cranny, all those little microscopic side tunnels, the whole system, from the top all the way down to the very, very tip of the root.
So why is this such a big deal? Well, leaving a canal empty is just asking for trouble. Think about it. Fluids can seep back in, and that becomes a food source for any tiny bacteria that might have survived the cleaning. It's also a highway for new bacteria to get in from your mouth. A good obturation, though, it creates what we call a hermetic seal. Basically, it's completely airtight. It starves out any leftover microbes, it protects the bone around the tooth, and it even gives a little bit of structural support from the inside out.
Okay, so what do we actually use to fill this space? The go-to material, and I mean for over a century, has been something called gutta percha. It's this natural material, kind of like a cousin to rubber, that comes from the sap of a tree. And believe me, it didn't become the gold standard in endodontics by accident. There are some really good reasons it stuck around for so long.
And here's something that might surprise you. Those little pink cones of gutta percha, they aren't actually pure gutta percha, not even close. The gutta percha polymer itself is only about 20% of the mix. The vast majority, like 66%, is zinc oxide. That's the filler, and it even has some nice antimicrobial benefits. Then they add in some heavy metal sulfates, that's what makes it show up nice and bright on an X-ray, and a little bit of wax to make it easier to work with. So it's not just sap from a tree, it's a really smart, engineered composite material.
So this special recipe gives gutta percha some awesome advantages. It's really biocompatible, so the body doesn't reject it, it's easy to work with, and the most important thing, it's compressible. You can really pack it in there for a dense fill. But, and this is a huge but, it has one major drawback. It has absolutely no stickiness. Zero. It doesn't bond to the walls of the canal at all. And that right there is why the technique is so incredibly important. You can't just put it in. You have to use a sealer and physical force to literally wedge it into place.
So how do we actually get this stuff in there? Well, for decades, the classic go-to technique, the one everybody learned, has been cold lateral compaction. You can think of it as the original workhorse, a method designed to do one thing really well: physically wedge that gutta percha into every available space.
And the process is actually pretty ingenious in its simplicity. It's all mechanical. First, you take what's called a master cone. It's a gutta percha point that's sized to fit the end of the root perfectly. You coat that in a sealer, which is like a cement, and you place it. Then, you take a skinny metal tool called a spreader and push it right down next to the cone. This squishes or compacts the master cone against the wall of the canal. You pull the spreader out, and hey presto, you've created a new little space. So what do? You stick a smaller accessory cone right in there. And you just repeat that over and over. Spreader in, new cone in. Spreader in, new cone in, until the entire canal is just packed solid.
And this visual shows it perfectly. See how that spreader pushes the main cone to the side? That's what creates the space for the next one. You just keep doing that, using that lateral, that sideways pressure to smush all those individual cones together into one super dense mass that seals off the whole canal.
Now, cold lateral compaction, it's fantastic for canals that are relatively straight and simple. But here's the thing, root canal systems can be crazy complex. They can have all these tiny little side canals branching off, almost like tiny little rivers. And for those tricky spots, just pushing things sideways isn't always enough. An evolution was needed. And that's where warm vertical techniques come into the picture.
The game changer here is one simple thing: heat. A technique like the continuous wave of condensation uses this special heated plugger. You place it in the canal, and a wave of heat makes the gutta percha go from a solid rubbery material to this. Well, this thick, warm, flowable mass. Think of it like really thick honey. And once it's in that state, you can push it vertically, downwards, and it will literally flow into all of those tiny nooks and crannies that the cold technique might miss.
So why bother with heat and all this extra complexity? Well, the payoff can be huge. You can get a much better three-dimensional fill. In fact, studies pretty consistently show that these warm techniques are just plain better at getting that filling material into all those little side canals. But there's always a trade-off, right? The downside is you have to be super careful not to push that soft, warm material right out the tip of the root. Plus, it definitely requires some more specialized and expensive equipment.
But here's the bottom line. It doesn't matter if you're using cold lateral force or warm vertical force. The end goal is exactly the same: a perfect, rock-solid, impenetrable seal. This is truly a game of millimeters, and a tiny little mistake can lead to a really big problem down the road.
And that brings us to the two classic mistakes you have to avoid. First, there's underfilling. This is where you leave an empty space at the tip of the root. It's basically a little safe house for bacteria to move in and cause a whole new infection. Then, on the other end of the spectrum, you have overfilling. That's when you push the material too far right out the end of the root. This can really irritate the bone and tissue around the tooth. It's a total Goldilocks situation. It can't be too short, it can't be too long. It has to be just right.
Okay, so let's wrap this up in a neat little bow. Cold lateral, you're pushing sideways. This gives you amazing control over the length, which is great for more straightforward canals. Warm vertical, you're pushing downwards. This gives you way better 3D adaptation, making it the winner for those really complex, twisty canals. Neither one is better all the time. It's all about picking the right tool for the right job.
And really, this quote says it all. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what fancy technique or material you're using. The success or failure of the entire root canal comes down to one simple thing. Did you get a complete, three-dimensional seal that locks out any and all microorganisms? That's the whole ballgame.
And that brings us to a really interesting question about the future. You know, gutta percha has been the champion for over 100 years because it's great at being passively packed into a space. We force it in there. But what if the filling material could actively bond to the canal walls? What if it could create a single, solid, unified structure, something they call a monoblock? With all the new bioactive and adhesive materials coming out, you really have to wonder, are we on the verge of a huge leap forward? Will we one day look back at good old gutta percha as just an important stepping stone to something even better? Makes you think, right? Thanks so much for joining me.